I just want to know your honest opinion, so you to bring it on. If you could come back to this world, would you come back as a woman or as a man?
I will come back as a woman.
I'll choose to come back as a man.
As a man? Why?
I won't have to struggle for things so much, and I won't have to go through the psychological and physical pain of being a woman.
No, I love being a woman. I think it is harder to be a woman
Why do you say that?
because women are not given the opportunity to try out everything they want to try, and they try to fit in a way that they always try to compare with themselves with men.
As a woman, you're expected to, do the parenting, hold your job, maintain the household and everything like that. But they don't expect the same of men. Just be a CEO. Just do well at your job. Just, meet your quotas. Be on Forbes. That's all is expected of you.
It's both because as a woman, you might end up getting a rich man for yourself, but then you still have to go through the you have to birth children. Sure, that is painful on its own. And then as a man, if you were to be a poor man, society would look down on you, and you have to hustle like your way up. So I think that's why I said it's equally hard.
It's all about the money that comes into the home at the end of the day. If you ask me, they should both strive to earn more than each other. And as it comes in, it's for the family.
Based on responsibility being placed on the man, maybe the man should earn more.
It's not that I'm trying to be sentimental or trying to judge out of guilty conscience, but I see the male that has family, has more responsibility. Even in Europe, if you are married, your salary as a man will be increased. If you have a kid, your salary as a man will be increased too. So because they see it as you have more responsibility to carry on.
Do you think women tend to be more emotional than men?
Men. Men.
Why do you say that?
By nature, we are emotional.
I think they're very quick to anger in that context.
I think both sides display emotions differently. A guy will be emotional and bottle up. A lady might be emotional and act.
Women. Yes. I don't know. I see being emotional as a strength and not a weakness. So it's you being able to fine, it started as a weakness, but you being able to turn that into a strength is what makes us women. So me embodying my emotionality and my rationality is what identifies me as a person and as a woman.
Men have given more attempts at science and STEM and all of those than women. So it's no surprise that men are sort of leading in that space. And it's always a headline when a woman, just emerges in the space of science and AI and robotics and the rest of them. But I would say, whenever you see a woman break through that clutter, she's always extra remarkable.
Like in the society we have today now, women are not free to do things they want to do. Like for instance, in a family where a woman wants to become a doctor, for instance, and no, it's a man's job. I think a man is preferable to do a doctor job. I think you should do something like business so I think we are not free in the society.
I would say both sides can, right? It's just that women have been made to believe they can't. But I studied electrical electronics. The ladies were among the best in the class, even though we had only 3. So had it been they knew they could be that good, or had it been society made them know, we might have had more of them in the class, and the averages will be clear for all to see.
Honestly, we are calmer. It is easier for us to process things. That's why most of the time when you try to attribute a gender to a thing, like an inanimate object that encompasses a whole lot, you give the thing her, not him. So we have that ability to, juggle a whole lot of things simultaneously and achieve a very relatable result. So I think STEM, which deals with a whole lot of, having to calm, rational, and think, is something a woman will thrive at like a whole lot.
Would you prefer to have a woman as a boss or a man?
I think I would prefer a man.
A man. Why do you
Yeah.
say that?
Because a woman boss, like for instance, the ones I've worked with, they are kind of strict and all that. So I think a man is kind of understanding.
It depends on the personality, but most of my friends say I prefer male bosses because they be like, okay, let me just use the normal word, women to get wahala. You understand? So, but I still believe it's based on the personality. I have one of the best female bosses one can ever ask for. So I've actually worked with a male boss. He's nice, but then you can also work with a male boss that is nasty. All right. So I just think it's the personality.
Cleaning and cooking. Ladies, sorry. I know you don't want to hear that,
No.
but
Look, I'm absolutely wrong. I have.
So I'll say men because we do less of it. I, for example, will wash my bathroom once in a year. Then I'll do it so well because it's just once a year I do it. But unlike a woman who would have to wash the bathroom maybe every other weekend, it just gets so used to it that it's not as thorough as what the man would do.
I would say women cooking, men cleaning.
So growing up, my mom cooks every day. The days my dad enters the kitchen, you're sure it's something continental.
my daddy man.
In the bias, to me, it means going out of the normal, like doing things that just be different, doing things that the society has termed to be impossible or something. Like as a woman, okay, 2023 we have elections coming, and I don't think I've seen a female candidate.
ṣé a lè ní ṣá possible ṣá obìnrin ò lè rúlù wọn ní wà ní nàìjíríà yìí ni.
There's nothing wrong in having a female president. The only thing is that in Nigeria here, in our country, our society, we feel we can dominate women. There are good ones. There are intelligent ones. There are hardworking ones. So they should be given equal opportunity. Let's test them and see how they perform.
We form the larger population, so why should we be discriminated against? It means that the people discriminating against women are women themselves. So there has to be a change in our psychology. If we want a female president, we can actually achieve a female president.
I feel like there's a level of acceptance that needs to happen in the space of politics, the way our political system is structured. There's also a shift in culture and mindset also. Those need to happen before we begin to talk about a woman president. And it's you go into the House of Assembly, the House of Rep, which are pretty much funnels to or platforms you use to aspire to being a president, and you find out that the representation there is not so significant.
Judging book from the cover without taking time to read what is in it is not good, you know. So I think women should be given an opportunity to showcase themselves, and let's see what they have. All this while it has been men empower, and what has happened? Nothing.
Women don't reason like men when it comes to money. Yes, handling of money.
How do you think women reason when it comes to handling of money?
Spending patterns, spending habit of women.
Women spend more.
You know, they are more cosmetic than men.
Women,
Women?
definitely the women.
àwọn obìnrin là nìyẹn obìnrin mọ owó náà ó dẹ̀ mọ ohun tó tọ́ because tí wọ́n bá gbé 100,000 lẹ̀ wọ́n máa kó 100,000 yìí business máa fi gbélé lórí mo láti rí 200,000 lórí ẹ̀ but ọkùnrin most ọkùnrin míì tó yẹ pé ó mọ business ṣe òun náà máa ń jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ but sì míì tó yẹ pé àfíàyé just fíafíà ní màá tó di bí another business we enter so ìdí tó fi jẹ́ pé obìnrin ló mọ.
Who tends to be more rational, men or women?
I'll say men are more rational because on a single thought, single item, you have a man thinking for days while a lady would have taken a choice and moved on.
I don't see myself as an irrational person, so
Men, because men take their time to think a decision through. All right. Women may just act on like, yes, on their feelings and like what is happening at the moment. They just want to let go. Okay, fine. I'll do this and just let it go. But then men tend to take their time to ponder and act, think through things before acting.
Women are more rational because they are more three-dimensional in the way they look at things. They could see the end from the beginning. They could, sort of predict what happens in the next 2-3 steps in the process. But men are more sort of short-sighted. We give you the answer now, not necessarily thinking too much about the future.
I guess society see male as everything, like God, as everything, and they see female as the vulnerable ones and the ones should be taken care of and not to be placed in position to look after things. You understand? That is how society sees female against male. Yeah.
How do you see it?
To me, I see like a man is a man, a woman is a woman. So you put both to test and know who is the best at that point in time and choose. It's not about making man the MD or woman the MD, or who can actually take this to another level. If it's a woman, give it to a woman. Okay. If it's a man, give it to a man.
Well, I've always been a smart kid in quotes. So I decided to do electrical engineering to just beat those kind of bias in a way. I'm not sure if I'm happy about that choice at the end of the day because I'm not sure if I proved the point I wanted to prove. But let me say that that ladies can do what guys can do.
Well, you did it, didn't you?
Well, I did it, and I came out well.
So I don't see any reason why somebody should discriminate and say that this position is left for a man. You can have a man who cannot even perform. But you bring in a woman, the woman will perform creditably and better than a man.
Have you encountered some instances where you feel you've been discriminated against because you are a girl or you're a woman, or you've been held back, or you've been treated differently?
I have actually my family. We have 4 girls in our family and a boy. So when we were growing up, my dad preferred the guy to go to school. He sponsored him, like full sponsored, like to go to school. We only send us to a secondary school.
So I was the head girl of my secondary school, and there were so many girls in class that would constantly pass and ace the scores of their male counterparts, right? So you would hear teachers say things like, "You people are not ashamed of yourself. The girls are passing you." So it felt at that point in time, we didn't understand what that meant. But looking back on it now, it's quite insulting to think that, we're passing, but we're not supposed to be passing them.
During my service year, the post for platoon leader came up, and I was nominated. But then the guy won. I actually did better than he, but like, okay, we're not sure you can handle quite a number of core members like this, so let's just give it up to the guy.
My mom always wanted to have a boy. There's this conversation between couples about the number of kids they're going to have and stuff. So my dad just wanted 2 kids. And then when the first and the second came as girls, my mom, wanted a boy and then was persistent. The third came and then it was a girl. And then the fourth came and it was a girl.
Are you the fourth?
Yeah, I'm the fourth and I'm the last. So eventually when I found out that my mom was particular about the sex of the child, and then my dad was not ready to support the remaining 2 because he felt it was not the agreement. My mom had breached the agreement. So the third and the fourth were like mother's kids. Then my responsibility is just the first and the second. So I would say that's my greatest bias because it felt like I wasn't needed when I came. But eventually, should I say I broke the bias because I proved myself to be valuable irrespective of my gender. And then my dad right now says when people call him Abigail, he's very happy that he had all girls.